Well, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are around the world. Today we resume the BEST, Best British Elimination Scrabble Tournament, live from York. Piotr Andronowski and David Webb. And the score overnight is 6-5 to Piotr. And it's the best of 19, so the first to 10. I'm joined in the commentary box in England by Paul Allen. Good morning, Paul.
Good morning.
How are you today?
I'm fine. Yourself?
Yes. Hanging in there in a balmy Bangkok afternoon. Right, so we've got the first play coming in there by Piotr.
Yep.
And that is Freak. Nothing wrong with that, Paul?
Not that I can see. Freak leaving PS. Fairly standard, I think. I'm going to cheat with Quackle, see what it thinks. Yeah, it goes with Freak. It also wants to double the K. Some people don't like the fact that it takes extensions, but I'd go with Freak there. That was quite promising until the B for David, wasn't it? And indeed, the only playable bonus, so it makes sense to play it. Fairly straightforward play there, yeah? And Piotr looks to have some potential to come back. There's certainly lots of bonus potential. And bonus, never mind potential, there's already existing bonus.
Again, Paul, I lost me there.
That's okay. David has just played B Paints.
Right, so that was straight out of the bag, as it were?
Yeah, that was the only bonus, so fairly obvious play there. The screen's gone from me, but I know that Piotr has post-teens, pentoses, openness. He should see one of them. In fact, he's lined up post-teens, I think.
Uh-huh. Yeah, I've lost the screen as well.
Yeah, that would be 78. I expect that's going to come down. Possibly pentoses. Both would give a vowel above the middle bottom triple. There might be some mileage in openness. That would be more defensive in terms of score on the triple, but worse defense in terms of bonuses for 2 points fewer.
Okay, I'm seeing it again. So openness is coming down, which will give Piotr back the lead.
Did you prefer one or other there?
I can't say I've really analysed that from my perspective. I couldn't see the screen. Did you?
6.5 a dozen, I think. It's 2 points lost compared with Bostein's, but it's saved the easy score of the middle triple.
That's fine.
I still don't have the picture here.
I've got the picture now. So David is sitting on AAEHIMT.
Okay, some promise there.
Yeah, you can certainly score.
He can play a theme, which I've never seen without the S. Never seen played as a 6. He could keep more bonus potential with Miha, possibly. Miha under openness, making M, SI, and SH. I quite like that, actually. That would probably be my choice. Any preference yourself, Jerry?
I'm just analysing it. I don't know. Is there any value in just playing? Oh, no, no. It would leave 2 A's. No, probably what you suggested. Can't think of anything else.
Still not getting a screen here, but if you keep telling me the tiles, I can cope with this.
Okay. So, well, David's obviously still on turn. He hasn't decided yet.
Come back. Yeah, I think it's worth taking a lot of time here.
Okay. He's going to play Meath.
Okay.
30.
Leaves a lot of vowels, though, Paul.
It does. I think that's a slight error. Oh, actually, sorry. I tell you what's wrong is that I haven't been seeing the screen. I've imagined openness doubling the P. I've no idea why he didn't double the P.
Right.
So
yes.
the options will be completely different.
Right.
Taking it back, I have no idea why the P wasn't doubled. I can't really think why that would be the case. Well, it's maybe in terms of blocking a bonus onto an easy hook of the O, but I don't think it's worth the 4 points difference. Anyway.
Yeah. It's probably just a mistake.
Right.
So we're seeing here we're seeing Piotr put down Fugu, which isn't fishy at all.
Fugu with lie, right? The previous move, I think Meath is still a slight mistake. It's just such a vowely keep. Quite an odd move, actually.
Happened to
Piotr. Sorry, David missed a trick there. It was David just played. No, Piotr's played Fugu.
Yes.
I've just been able to see the screen. He missed a trick there, which I suspect some people will have seen. An extension of freak for 54.
Oh, right. Okay. Which was?
Freakful.
Freakful.
Yep.
Oh, okay. Yes, that is indeed a mistake. If you don't know it, you can't play.
Indeed, but failing that, if you take out Fugu seems as good as anything.
He's managed to
Vise. Yeah, I think he dug himself into a hole there by keeping on so many vowels. I think Vise is as good as anything there is.
Yeah. So we've got Piotr with toe line. Is he playing it in the right place?
Let me see. I don't suppose it matters too much on this occasion. He has 3 spots for it, all for 67. I wouldn't play it at the right. It's too weak a defense. Top or bottom of FE? I would go bottom as he has. Yeah, I'd agree with that. Okay. But I don't think there's too much in it, just play the bonus.
Okay. Done, we played toe line, and after that move, Piotr Andronowski is 190 and David Webb 120. This is game 12 in the Best English Champion tournament final, and the winner will go on to play Paul Gallen of Northern Ireland.
I think David's still suffering from the Meath move, where he kept lots of vowels, and that's underscored him for Meath, and then the next move and this move. So it could turn out to be what seemed like a small error, be quite significant.
Right.
He's got 2 options here. I think he can play something like a wee, which is very bold, keeping Cade, strong bonus potential, or he can simply score
25.
Which is exactly what he's doing. He could have played card there for more. Well, that would have kept 2 E's. CAAED. And I think that would be preferable. It's 5 points more to keep EE as opposed to AE. And he'll still probably be slightly vowel heavy, depending on the pick.
58.
Right, big score for Yes, but there were a couple of other high-scoring options. He could have played Maint next to Caddy, which should have kept the Z. Lovely move. Didn't see that myself. This is from Quackle. And he could have played Yuts through the U of Fugu. Both of which have got much score more and have much superior leaves to Yes. Are you still with us, Jerry?
Yeah, back now.
Okay, sorry.
Okay, so we've seen. So we're seeing a bingo go down now.
Yeah.
89 T.
Reattached, presumably.
Oh, very nice.
Which Yuts would have blocked. But of course you're not to know that.
That was here after Neath has caused him a bad problem. So we're now back to a game that's very close. Only 15 points in. Piotr in the lead.
Yep, David did have a slightly higher scoring move, which would also have taken out the hotspot in the middle right, which was Trachea.
Right, okay.
Making CHAE and DA 2 points more, and it would take out the hotspot, so it's got to be significantly better, although not much wrong with reattach.
Right. Of course, yes, it is a definitely a high scoring place or hotspot for the subsequent turns. Is Piotr going to use it on this turn, you think?
Almost certainly. I think he's got Armgaunt with another A, which there isn't. Argentum and such like, but there aren't really any floaters unless it's something through ET. So yes, I expect he's going to play Da. Gam.
Well,
I think he's lining up.
He's lining up Gam. He's going to go through a few options first.
Yeah.
Wow, Armgaunt. So that sounds very interesting. You've got a lot of words in your there.
Well, there's no use if there's no floaters, which there aren't really. It's Nell and it can end in a Y, but I think I'm looking at Quackle here. Quackle says Gam, and you're right. He should look for something a bit better. Possibly Een might be possible, but Gam seems to be quite significantly better than anything else. You can play Mat in the same place, Tam, Ram, that sort of thing, but I think it has to be Gam. And I suspect he'll look for a minute before playing Gam, which he's already seen.
Yeah. $38 points for Gam.
Yeah. And a reasonable, it takes up reasonable leave of turn.
Yeah.
The average score after Gam will be quite small for David.
Yeah.
35.
Yeah, best move, I think.
38.
So David is behind by a fair bit now. and has got 2 V's on his rack. So what can he do to solve this problem, Paul?
Not a lot going here, I think. I think something like Vivid through the floating I in toe line might be the play. Gets rid of both V's. It blocks the L and the I just in case Piotr has a really nice bonusy rack.
It's not really a board where he wants to block, being some behind, is it?
Well, he's only 53 behind. I think the whole point is he can afford to block for now. There's plenty of time to come back. If he plays Vivid, what's the score of Vivid? Vivid is 24. He would only be some 10 points behind or so. Nothing particularly to worry about yet. And I don't think he has too much other option. He could play, for example, Love under the L of toe line. Much more bonusy. Leave have arrived, but there's not really anywhere to play a bonus, so any bonusy keep is overvalued.
Okay.
There's 1 blank left, so there might be mileage in playing 4 tiles rather than 2. I do like getting rid of both of these.
So you wouldn't use the turn?
I'm going through options here. This is with Crackle. Div and Vised would give a hotspot unnecessarily. He could play Div and Zoe. That gives a nice plot spot for a bonus with Dive and Divs. So all in all, I think definitely Vivid for me.
And that's what he goes for.
I agree with that.
Meanwhile, Piotr has the other blank on his rack, so he's going to be feeling pretty good about things at the moment.
Yep. And he has a 7, but nowhere to put it. There might be
ternary.
Yeah, indeed. I don't suspect there's one with 2 Ys. Although what he could do, he could score with the Y, hopefully, and leave the strong bonus potential onto the Y for a pretty much game clinching bonus. But I don't see any obvious place to score with the Y with what he has. Nope. Again, cheating with Quackle. There's a lovely spot with the U of Fugu. If only he had an O or such like to play over that, over the F. So this is quite tricky. But it's a good position to be in because it's a closed board. He's probably going to be the one that's got bonus potential with the blank. It's going to be very difficult for David to bonus.
Yeah.
With the board as it is.
He's thinking perhaps of just fishing R Y. Okay, Yurt. Yurt is better than RYU.
Yeah, RYU, extra 2 points for Yurt. Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. Yeah, I mean that Y is going to stay there for a long time. I think he can almost. Both of them will probably play 2 or 3 tiles the next few moves, and he can just wait until he gets the 8 onto the Y. Or possibly
Meanwhile, he draws the X, which is going to probably spoil any bingo potential on the next turn. But it's obviously going to make him able to score significantly, or even on this board, I should think.
Exactly. Yeah. If you want a tile to mess up the bonus, X or Z are ones you'd want. And this is where it's such a weak rack and a weak board. It might be worth fishing in a strange way for a bonus onto the Y. You know, if, for example, there were, say, 6 tiles which would give you a bonus onto the Y, it might be worth doing. I'm not sure whether that's the case here. I mean, for example, if there were lots of A's, you could fish for ritually by playing the E. It's not worth doing because there's only 2 A's and a blank, so it's not worth playing a single E. But that's the sort of thing I'm on about.
Yeah, yeah,
Just because the board is so dull.
yeah. And things they're not desperate for David, but they're starting to look bad.
Yeah, another option, maybe open up something onto the K if that's possible. Play off lots of tiles, hoping for the blank.
Mm-hmm.
There's not a lot going. Yeah, something like Ruelia. Ruelia would get rid on playing BI onto Freak. Would open it right up. 6 tile turnover. Chance of getting the blank.
How do you spell that?
Ruellia.
Right. Okay.
With
Okay.
T.
Yeah. Oh, he's just gone for love.
Okay. Nice bonusy leave, but the problem is, how is he ever going to play that unless it's onto the Y? So, I mean, it'd be lovely if there were lots of floaters and hooks for a 7, but there aren't. Quackle did like that as second play, although Quackle's not so strong in these positions. It preferred Zoll just to take the 12 points. I don't think there's a great move there. I would have gone for Ruelia had I seen it there.
Right. Eric here in burning the blank and putting the XU in there and blocking.
Possibly, depending on what's available, how much.
If he can.
I think better just to play XU. It's boring. Although it does give away quite a lot to EXO, which is a problem. We know that David doesn't have it, but he's not to know that. So there are risks involved in that. I mean, what could go after that? JO something? Jaws, for example, would be fairly catastrophic. So if EXO wasn't a word, I'd definitely play XU in the bottom right.
Yeah.
I quite like Ru. It does leave the floating R. 31 points, leaving nut blank.
Yeah.
Now, if David were to somehow play a bonus through the R, you should have some counterplay with nut.
Yeah. He's thinking about tucks as well, keeping it.
Tucks
simple.
would be the very defensive play, and it makes a lot of sense. It makes a lot of sense, especially with David just having played 2 tiles. So yeah, tucks, good move. Can't argue with that.
Yeah, it
Probably
gives
better than actually.
Giving nothing away.
Yeah, there's no point leaving the R floating. Sorry, I prefer tucks now. So good play.
Yeah.
Again, very close to a bonus. Could be close to Lion Terry entirely and such like.
He's got a 7-letter word on his rack, but it's not
nowhere to put it. He could play something like Ilya, but the C's and M's have gone, so it's not much of a hook for Cilia and Milia.
Yeah.
Something onto the K, perhaps.
Yeah. Even that isn't very easy.
Well, relink possibly.
Relink. Yeah. At least it would create 2 possibilities of being able to take the Y and being able to take the R for a bonus, and it would score. So.
And it's turnover for the blank.
Yeah.
Still leaves. I like relink. Strangely, it's not in Quackle's suggestions. Relink. I'm not. That's interesting. You think the thing is, Quackle doesn't appreciate the fact that the board is incredibly closed, and it is putting an artificially high premium on leaves like Niter, which aren't really going to do David any good. It's saying let's score 7, keeping nice bonus potential, but it's not going to give a bonus, is it? If you play Zoll. So something like relink, I think. Actually, of Quackle's suggestions, the highest scoring is 14. But I think it doesn't have a clue here because it, like I say, overvaluing the strong bonus keep on a non-bonusy board.
Right.
Perhaps Zori. Zori, I think. If you're going to do something like that, play Zori, get rid of the duplicate eyes. You may be able to bonus onto the Y. Zori is only Quackle's 6th choice, although to me that's vastly superior to Zol, which would keep 2 eyes.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think he's thinking of there? Again, it
Really?
might. If there's one tile, suppose you could fish off the eye, and there were, say, 10 tiles that gave you a bonus onto the Y. That might be worth doing. But I don't see that being the case. There's lots of O's, so if you could fish off one that gave you a bonus with the O, might be some mileage in that. But I'm not seeing one. So I guess 2 options. Play something like Relink or something like Zori.
Of course, Relink plays an awful lot of tiles and leaves things well in the lap of the gods. There's an awful lot of O's to come and only one E.
Yes, it's not good. I mean, the Relink would be based almost entirely on getting the blank and keeping your fingers crossed for reasonable tiles to go with it.
Okay, he's going for Inia.
Okay.
And that may not be a bad thing.
He's maybe tempting some sort of play down the L column. Trouble is, even with Piotr's lead, Piotr could almost afford to play something fairly weak onto the Y, and then the board is almost stone cold dead, and he's got a substantial lead.
Absolutely. That will pretty much make it so that it'll have to be opened, and then it can be easily be blocked on subsequent turns because there's only one opening.
Yeah. Or he may, when David opens, Piotr can then just dive in with his bonus, which he presumably has matured by that time.
Yeah, indeed. So not looking good in the first game of the second day for David Webb, who's 6-5 behind. This is a race to 10.
I think this is interesting because you kind of want, with the blank and reasonable tiles, you kind of want to keep the Y open, but there's still lots of ways to lose with the bonus onto the Y, and presumably David is sort of working towards that. So there might be some mileage in a counterintuitive play like on, OY, on and net, which would give the false impression that you have a very non-bonusy rack and you're just desperately trying to block. Then David opens up, and then you pounce with your rune blank rack. You could just play no for score. Sorry, I can't speak rubbish there. There's not really much to score here. Yeah, that's what he's done. Yeah.
13.
That's 3 more points than on would be, and it leaves the Y, which is in his favour because he has the blank, but it's not because he's behind. So reasonable option. Don't argue with that. And if David is lucky enough to bonus onto the Y, that would leave 3 starters to counter with.
Yeah. So David's holding ALLORTE. Still trying to look for something which might go to the Y.
Yeah.
He's going to be trying something which probably doesn't exist.
86.
Ooh, that's a lottery.
I was
Now
thinking
that's not
just
like David. It's the sort of thing I do as a desperate punt, but David tends not to do that. I don't think he needed to gamble that early.
no.
What we can do is, it might be worth a fish there. Like I say, there must be things he can fish for by playing off a single tile, for example.
Yeah.
Right, as nines, if you have a pool of 9, the 8 that exists there onto the Y plus 1 more, he's got bonuses with A, B, C, G, M, R, T, V, Y, N, Z, M.
Quite a lot.
Yeah, so there was potential. That's with different single tile fishes, obviously, but there were lots of ways he could have made a long shot punt for such a move. And it seems that Piotr doesn't want to block the Y, otherwise he could have played on.
Right.
So presumably if he'd done that, Piotr might have kept the Y open still.
Piotr can now do as he pleases without worrying about a single thing. OB at the bottom might be worth thinking about. Leaving the Y open, he's obviously got no problems doing that. And that's what he's...
Yeah. Yep, not a problem. Of course, he does have to worry about giving Davis a floater for his tiles, but other than that, no worries. Yep. Even without the inference, Quackle likes Ob.
Right.
Now, can David do one of the fishes I was talking about? I think he has to play off just maybe 3 tiles onto Inia and hope he has the bonus onto the Y. Hope Piotr doesn't have a bonus himself.
What's the problem now is that he's nearly 100 behind.
Yeah.
Which means it's all going to probably be futile anyway.
Well, I think he has to hope for a big bonus onto the Y. Now,
yeah,
I think the good thing from David's point of view is that the Y can't be blocked for much of a score. Piotr almost has to miss a turn blocking the Y. So I think it now has got to the stage he's got to gamble more, play more tiles onto the eye of Inia. Piotr block there, and he has to pray for some pretty hefty bonus onto the Y. But like you say, even that may not be enough. But I think that's the sort of thing he should have done last turn.
Exactly. So he's opening up a 9, and he's just gonna play a lot, leaving ER. So we have 2 spots to play, and I think obviously that Piotr is going to end up benefiting more than David from this.
Yeah. But I think he had to do something like that.
Yeah.
But he should probably have done that last turn. Maybe something like a lot might have been better. Leaves the L, it leaves slot possibilities with the blank.
Score a little bit more as well, you know. It's just it's almost hopeless, isn't it? Almost.
Yeah, and the advantage, this is brilliant for Piotr because there's 15 tiles unseen, so 8 in the bag. He doesn't have to worry about emptying the bag and David coming back with some huge bonus. He would have to worry about leaving the 9 timer, obviously, but if you can just play a bonus through the L, that should be the game sealed.
Yeah, yeah.
He shouldn't play onto the Y, even if there is something.
Yeah.
Ideally play through the A, but I don't see anything. Neuropill onto the L should do it.
Neuropill?
Yeah. Obviously the top L rather than the bottom L to block the A. I don't see a double yet. I suppose theoretically a bonus might still fit, slotting under everything you've made there, making 2-letter words. So, but that's a miracle. Oh, unholier, yeah. That's doubled, although it does give quite a lot away, but it doesn't really matter at this stage.
No. Holier will put the U for David's Q, but as I said, really going to make any difference.
If it were simply a case of avoiding a bonus, I think you can afford David to get a bonus here.
Yeah.
You should play Neuropil onto the top L, make it more restrictive.
Yes.
But it doesn't matter at this point.
So Piotr's looking at A, E, I, O, U plus a blank R, N.
Now he doesn't even need to find a bonus here. Can't quite see his lead. His lead is 62. Is it?
No, 71.
71. Sorry, I can't see the screen. There we go.
And he's going to take your lead there with Neuropil.
Okay. And that should seal it.
59.
Yep, it's only 59, but he's got a massive lead.
Yeah.
So 120 lead, so 130, I should say.
Yeah,
so,
and even if David were to slot in some weird bonus for 110 or something, he'd pick up 1 and you could probably score your way out.
Yeah, indeed.
Yeah, frustrating game for David. Although I think, strangely, I think the key was Meath. That kept vowels and it just held him up for a few turns.
Yeah.
Now, if there was a possibility, can he play the Q just a single? I don't think he can with a single tile. But this was the only way to frantically hope for a win. Some sort of phony from Piotr, and then squeezing in
right.
some strange things have happened. But he can't even do that. Can he play off? No, he can't even hope for a U. It's utterly hopeless.
He's just going to play Quare and get out of here.
Yeah, fair enough.
15.
Probably figures that DOR will go with more other letters that he can draw from the pool, and that will give him an out on the next turn, and he can go and have a splash.
Yeah, we were. I don't know if you have a point of view on this, Jerry. How much mental energy you should give to these situations? There were differing views on it in the chat. When the game's dead and it's
I heard the
spread doesn't matter that much.
Yeah, well, the spread doesn't matter here at all, I believe. So I did. Yeah, I did.
If it goes 9.5.
Yeah. Okay. In that likelihood, but I did agree with what people said yesterday. That you should try and sort of keep your brain in gear and keep trying to find the best move, because that will have benefits later on. Got another high scoring play lined up. Is Shoji a valid word?
Yep.
Yeah. I think he must be second guessing himself because Shoji is thing for him to do.
Yeah, it's odd that, but especially when he can't lose.
Yeah.
What exactly is his lead now? Sorry, my screen sort of obscures the score. He's good.
Okay. He's not really second guessing himself.
Yeah, 115.
Whatever.
He could play any sort of phone he likes. It's fine.
Yeah.
71.
Shoji is far from a phony. It's going to get him nearer to 500.
Indeed. Yep.
And my goodness.
a good game from Piotr. I mean, very hard to pick any fault in any of his moves, really. Openness was a bit odd, I thought, but not a big error if it is. I'd like to ask him why he put it there.
It just might not like hanging the S out at that point, but it was several points less, so bit strange, I guess.
Well, yeah, I suppose if you play it to one space to the right, it leaves the O just sitting there for bonuses, and like you say, the S.
Yeah, it's much more defensive.
Yeah, there might be some merit in it actually. It's so a very good game from Piotr. I think he definitely deserved this game. Not that David did much wrong, but I think Meath cost him, and obviously the phony. I don't think he needed to gamble that early.
Yeah. We saw him play one or two phonies yesterday, David, which seems... Is that unusual for his play? I mean, I've played him several times. But...
Well, I was just saying to Lewis, I played him in the previous round. That was 15 games, and then 16 games the previous year. And I think he plays one phony in those 31 games. So that's not... He doesn't play them against me. No, I think there comes a point where you've got to chance your arm, and I did it a couple of times against David in the last round where I was really desperate. The likes of lottery, where you think you've virtually no chance. But I think if he'd played something like Lot and the blank's unseen, Piotr can block Lot, he bonuses onto the David, bonuses onto the Y. There's lots of ways to win. It's unlikely, but I don't think he needed to gamble at that point.
Yeah.
In fact, what I can do is I'll just, as we play out, I'll put it in Scrabble. I'll put Lot in. I'll even put a Lot in. Where he played a phony. And I'll put in a pass. And see what it reckons.
We've just got a small play as we come to the end of game 12, and that's just a play of OD from David. It's not going to make any difference to the score, and that will leave Piotr with a D and a G on his rack, and he's just going to go out with Dag. So this one is history. Piotr Andronowski makes 503 and David Webb 324, and now he takes a 7-5 lead in this best of 19, first to 10 BEST Best English Champion final.